result didn't go your way, but the ability to, I guess, hold on against Sydney. We've seen a lot of teams not be able to do that this year, especially late in games, but to, I think, essentially in the second half, you guys take some positives out of it.
Yeah, certainly do. I thought we were, we fight to the end. I think we've done that certainly the last year and a half. Sydney are an awesome team. They were far too good for us today. And it threatened to blow us out, really. So, did we fight and, drag the score back to whether it's respectable or not, somewhat not a blowout, or did they sort of put the cue in the rack because the game was over? I'm not sure, but I thought our guys fought hard. I thought we started to continue. We continued to try and challenge them, pressure them, defend them, and in the second half, for the bulk of it, we did it reasonably well. There were moments where we still didn't. They had a 20-minute patch in the second quarter that they just blew us apart, and we weren't able to go with them. They went to another level, and we weren't capable of going there at this point in time. So we'll review the game heavily, try and learn our lessons, and continue to try and improve.
You mentioned that second quarter. It felt like the numbers were pretty similar for most of the quarter, inside 50s and contested ball and things like that, but it was just their ability, I guess, to almost capitalise on turnovers and hit the scoreboard quickly.
Yeah, that's right. They maximised their opportunities and we didn't, or they minimised ours. It's one or the other. We'll sit here and say we didn't take our opportunities and we didn't defend theirs, and they'll say the same. So, they were really potent. They kicked 7 goals in that quarter, which is far too many, obviously. 10 shots. The entries up until sort of towards the end of the quarter, I think we were leading the entries count, but they were defending them extremely well. And then being able to slingshot off the back of them, we weren't defending our forward 50 anywhere near as well as what we should be, in the first half. And, I thought we rectified that at half time, but the damage had been done.
Now you've seen it up close again. What is it that the Swans are doing so well that's given them such a break over the rest of the competition?
Well, tonight, and really in the games over the last month that I sort of studied a little bit, was their ability in the contest is really strong, all over the ground. Whether they have the ball or the opposition have the ball, they're able to really either, if they've got the ball, keep their chain going. If the opposition have the ball, really stop their chain. And then their composure coming out of the contest to be able to find a mark. The amount of times they were able to find a mark and then get their offence up and going out of a contested situation was really impressive tonight. They did it far too often, particularly in that first half, but really across the game. They were really good at that. And then they challenge you with their run. And, they run hard forward. They certainly got some goals that looked pretty easy to the eye against us, particularly in that second quarter. So, we need to be able to rectify that.
And how do you go about trying to match them or even nullify them with that strength of the stoppage? Because Tom Green got off to a flyer in that first quarter. I think it was 15 touches to quarter time. Toby Bedford's locked down pretty well on Chad Warner, but they're still getting away. Yeah,
well, they've got a variety of things that they can use. They're quite a versatile team. They have players who can play multiple positions. So Warner, for instance, I thought Toby was doing a really good job and did a really good job on him based on Warner's output for the season. Toby certainly restricted that. I thought the bulk of the times he got the ball, he was under pressure or nothing really eventuated from that. But then he goes and takes himself forward and is able to then kick a goal out of the goal score against Toby. And so Toby's obviously second game into that role, probably never been in the full back line in his life. So he learned something. And Warner's a really good player, obviously. And so, he has that to go into his kit bag and drag that out just to continue to have an impact on the game. So that's what really good players do. And Toby will learn his lesson on that. But they've got, a handful of players through their midfield alone who have the capacity to do that. So that's making them an outstanding team right at this moment and clearly the best team in the competition. And that's something that we're trying to work towards.
We even saw Tom Green sitting, it seemed to be like a kick behind play almost, or at least sitting in the Swans forward line before half time, I think, from memory.
Yep.
What was sort of the thinking there, especially, as we said, he'd sort of been...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably a play that the Swans use, obviously, sending McDonald usually behind the ball, just to stem the flow a little bit, and that's what we were trying to do. Did we want to send Jesse or Riccardi behind the ball? Probably not. We felt like we needed to really compete in the front half. We felt like they were having some level of impact when the ball was delivered to advantage to them. So we tried something different. Look, I don't know whether it really worked. They didn't seem to score a heap throughout that patch, but they still controlled the ball, and we probably rushed into their advantage a little bit too much too. So, there's another lesson for us. We're still growing and developing. We're certainly far from the finished product. We're quite a young team. Second or third youngest, least experienced this round. So I think there's a fair bit to work on. We had a bunch of players who haven't played yet 50 games. So, 8, I think, 9 maybe. So we've got a lot of growing to do, and experiences like the lesson we got tonight will certainly help advance.
Adam, are you still confident that the side can be premiership contenders after tonight?
Absolutely, very confident. We got beaten by clearly the best team in the competition, and they're going to be the ones that everyone has to beat, I would suspect. But again, I'm really confident in the way that we played. I thought we fought hard. We've got some players to come back. Who knows what's possible? We're certainly better placed this year than what we were last year, and we were able to string a bit of a run together. So I'm really confident in our people.
How happy were you with the debut of Max? Obviously playing brilliantly in the VFL, and then he comes out and scores. You saw what it meant to him with the goal and the players getting around him. Yeah, I thought he did well. He didn't touch the ball a lot, but I thought he competed well. He's where we needed him to be. Finished with 2 goals, I think. He did his job, and so I was pleased with him. Tough matchups against their backs, tough conditions for a key forward. So, he had a bit to deal with, and I thought he did well.
Another guy who's looking stronger the more he plays is Toby McMullen. He seems to be around the ball a little bit more, winning some of those hard contests. I mean, what have you seen with him getting that opportunity, kind of making the most of it over the last month or so?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen his ability in the contest. He's a little bit more composed now than what he was. He knows what his strengths are. He's able to then bring them to the fore a little bit more. We think he's going to be a really good player. He just needs opportunity to play. A few guys out in his position gives him that opportunity, so we need to maximise that.
You were with Sam Taylor today. How did you evaluate the back 6 today?
A little inconsistent. Yeah, a little inconsistent. I thought their keys had moments where they, not necessarily marking the ball, kicking goals, but keeping their chain going and generating a little bit more territory, just winning those little one-on-one battles. I thought our blokes had moments, usually in the back half, quite desperate. Their guys had moments to keep the chain going. So it was probably, I don't know what they ended up kicking combined, but it was probably a 0-0 draw, really.
How close was Stephen Gilio to tonight? And do you think you'll get him probably potentially pairing him maybe a couple of those guys who played in the VFL back next week?
Yeah, I think we will. I would expect Cogs will be fit. He got through training, no problems, just wasn't 100% confident without the same level of contact, and probably against Sydney in these conditions, it could have been a good move. Who would never know, I suppose. But I would expect him to play against Adelaide. I'd expect Cumming to be fit and available. I expect Pez to be back. Jones come back from injury today and was lightning in the VFL. So whether we bring him in or not, I'm not sure. Taylor won't be.
Is there a clearer timeline on Taylor after the last couple of days?
No. I think, he won't. We're not going to push him. I mean, yeah, it's not a great injury. So we're going to take as much time as he needs. We're going to make sure that he's comfortable and ready to go, ready to run first. So that could be that might be a couple of weeks. We'll take our time with him.